So when Paige and I were camper shopping and we finally decided on the four-wheel camper, looked at a lot of different companies and ended up with a four-wheel camper. And when we decided that we wanted the four-wheel camper, we realized they have a lot of configuration options on their website, but not a lot of info on what the configurations would look like if you got them. We also started to realize we wanted the shell model, which is like their shell model, which has really none of their options inside of it. It's like a bare bones camper. We wanted that version because we knew we could DIY build the inside. And if you do it yourself, it's cheaper, looks cooler, probably works better. So at that point, we started our mandatory YouTube research and found that as far as the shell model goes, with like no options in it, no one really had a video. So we ordered it not knowing really what it would look like or what it would come with or not come with. So since not a lot of people order them this way, I figured while I still have it in its bare form, I'll show you what to expect if you choose to order one like this. And then when the build is done, I'll make another video to show our final product. So I'll try to show you some of the other things you might not be able to find in a different video. This is a 2017 Tacoma, and that's the fleet model back there because I have a long bed. This is what it looks like from the driver's side mirror as far as like how far it sticks out. In my opinion, it doesn't really block anything important, whether it be like cars in your blind spot or trying to park next to a curb or something. Some people do the wide angle mirror stick on things, but I haven't felt the need for that. But is it looking at me?
Oh, you want it to look at you.
Well, both. So here's the truck. And I have a lot of modifications into it, but I'll do a different video about the truck. And then here is what the camper looks like on this truck. It's a fleet model because it's for a long bed mid-size truck. If you got a short bed Tacoma, I think they're called Hawks.
No.
What are they called?
They're called Swift.
So if you had a short bed Tacoma, it would say Swift because it's for the short bed. And if you had a full-size truck like a Dodge Ram, short bed, it would probably be called a Hawk. And if it was a long bed, I think it's called a Granby. They have a few different exterior materials and colors. This is their smooth aluminum, and we got it in black because we thought it would look cool with the tan paint on the Tacoma. The more common, the like default color is either white with like siding. What kind of? What
like
is
smooth aluminum.
Not smooth.
It's kind of like plated, like overlapping.
I don't know. There's a few other material options and colors, which you can see easily on their website. And then I was curious if I would be able to have a roof rack, if I would have the clearance for a roof rack. And if you can see, this is like the default size of any Tacoma's roof rack, and there's that much room still left. And I wanted the roof rack because you can put like a Pelican box in the front and let that hold like your dirty storage or whatever. You could strap shovels and other tools to the side of the roof rack. And in my case, I have knockoff Max Tracks up there. And you can put a light bar in the front of it. These are where the jacks go if you were going to take it off your truck. You would, it actually doesn't come with jacks. They're an option. So I didn't get any because I'm not planning to take this off anytime soon, but you would just attach the 4 jacks to the 4 corners and it comes off the truck in like 10 minutes. We'll do the back in a minute. But because this is a video to show you what basically no options would look like, I want to mention that this window here is an option. And if you don't buy it, you'd have like one
continuous piece here.
Yeah, you would have one continuous piece without the window. We got the window because you'll see it on the inside, but the window's not that useful on the inside because you'd probably block it with like your cabinets and stuff. But from the outside, we think it just looks way better. So we knew we had to have the window.
And then here, if you opted for it, there would be a big cutout for like shore power and your water and everything like that. If you got like the outdoor shower, etc.
All of the different camper sizes will stick out of the back of the truck like this much, depending on what happened.
being fucking annoying.
Can you just cut the video, I guess? So no matter which truck or bed size you have, all of the campers stick out about that much from the, like where the tailgate would have been. So you can't have a tailgate when you have the camper. But some people open their tailgate and leave it on the truck with it, the tailgate always being open. And then you kind of have like a small little porch you can sit on, but we don't need that. Show, just because I was curious, show what this all looks like. That's how much it sticks out from the side of my bed. Again, I'm not doing numbers. I'm just trying to give you an idea if you were curious. Try to get like this. So the roof situation, if you are like us and you want to order one of these campers with almost no options, I highly recommend still getting these roof rails that you can attach roof racks to, because if you don't get these installed by the factory and you ever want them or you ever want to have a roof rack, you'd have to do it yourself, and drilling through the roof of your camper is probably not something you would want to take on. The Yakima roof racks here though are also another option. We didn't get it from the four-wheel camper dealer. We just got them on our own from like Amazon or REI. You could install anything you want to these roof rails. It's just important, in my opinion, that you get them, especially if you knew you're going to get solar panels eventually. This is how you would mount the solar. And then this little guy here is a pre-wired solar panel connection, which I think every camper will have regardless of options. These two roof fans are Dometic roof fans. They're options, and I'll talk about them when we get inside the camper. Right here is your little four-wheel camper seal of approval. It says it weighs 806 pounds in our configuration, which is probably the lightest version you can have it, since again, there's really nothing on the inside of this. The door situation is going to be the same regardless of options, no options, which model you have. They're all like this. There's 3 locks. This is a deadbolt. This is a lock for the door itself, like not a deadbolt, and then this one will prevent you from doing that. We really only use the no, I'm not going to say that. This little guy is pretty cool, and I think it's our relatively new revision they made to hold the door open. So you simply just go like this. You just go like this. That's the main door, and then over here you got a cool little screen door so you can get some fresh air. This thing it's cool, and we like to use it, but this little piece and this like plexiglass is not made too well, in my opinion. We don't know of anything that we did that would have caused this, so not really sure how it happened. Last thing is this little porch light. I actually think this comes with any configuration you have. We didn't know that we were going to get that, but it was on there when we picked it up. And it's useful. It's not obviously not bright, but it's useful at night when you don't want to disturb your fellow campers. This is the little curtain, privacy curtain for your door. It's nice. I like this. Oh yeah, if you drive with the curtain open, and in the inside of the camper, there's a window that meets the truck's rear window. If you don't block that window, you can still see through the back of your truck with your rear view mirror as you would have if you didn't have the camper. I think that's everything for the outside. If I missed anything, just ask me and I'll take pictures for you or whatever you need. To pop the camper up is really fast. It probably only takes 1 minute or less. So there's just a few of these around the truck. Open them like that, and then I'll go get the other side. How many is there?
6.
Once you open all 6 of those, you're ready to pop it up. You just got to get inside and pop it up. All right, now we'll have Paige show you guys the inside. Hi.
Okay, so once you're inside, you can see there's not much headroom, but just wait. So when you get in, there's a little latch bolt here that you would see maybe on a fence or something. And you're just gonna push up the piece, open the latch, and secure it. And that's gonna free it for you to start pushing up. A little trick that they told us at the dealer is if you open the fan, so with this you just crank the fan lid open. that helps it be less of a vacuum when you push up the air, and it helps it, like, I guess, push all the way up.
It's kind of like when you're pouring gas out of a gas can and you got to do the little air vent.
Okay, so this wood panel there, you just kind of push and stand. And then you go to the other side and you do the same thing. So this piece is bolted up, and then I just give her a little break the seal. Oh, it's been a while since we popped it up.
It's not actually hard to pop it up, but the airflow thing is important. So if you don't open the vent, it becomes like suction down, and it is hard to pop up.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so as you probably just saw, there's quite a lot of headroom. I'm 5'10", and I probably have about 6 inches of extra space.
I'm 6'1", and I have a lot of room too.
So when you first get in here, there's these little elastics that are kind of just pulling in the vinyl. You just take those off. This is called the thermal pack. This is an add-on. This doesn't come straight from the the vendor. You have to pay extra for this, but it's great because it creates an air pocket between the actual vinyl and the inside of the camper, and it keeps it cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. Definitely recommend it.
And it helps with moisture.
Yeah. So it's got several layers here. The thermal pack is just one layer, and then you can kind of see this is just the vinyl that you would see on the outside. And then here, you pull it once again, that reveals light and leaves plastic. And then if you pull it once more, you get the screen for fresh air. There's 4 windows. There's another here, another here, and a 4th one there. Okay, so one of the things we like to do with the windows is we just give them like a little tuck so that they're off the bed, and then we kind of just Velcro this up that way so the window's still exposed, but this isn't touching the bed. So I'll just quickly do that for both sides. And the bed is one of the biggest surprises, I think, when we show people. So the bed's quite small when it's just like this. Being 5'10", I can really not sleep comfortably going this way, and it only gives me about half my length going this way. So when you come down, you can pull the bed all the way into a little bit bigger than a queen, I think they said. So underneath we have a moisture vapor barrier. That was a good recommendation we saw. And then you just pop the 4 extra cushions in. Some people only pop one of the cushions, like, 2 of them in. And now you have a bed. And we sleep north to south. Some people sleep east to west. But we like sleeping north to south because it's easier to climb out if you have to go to the bathroom. You're not climbing over your partner, your dog, your friend, your sister, your brother.
Yeah, the bed is, now that it's pulled out like that, it's very spacious. Between us 2 and our dogs and like our drinks and MacBooks and everything else we bring up there, we have plenty of room.
And it's pretty comfortable considering it doesn't look like it would be, but it is.
Yeah, and then she said there's a vapor thing here that we got off Amazon. It's this, and it helps with moisture and vapor and stuff because you should always have airflow under these things so you don't get mold. And then like she said, you can, if you want more bed but also less bed, you can use just half of that, push this in. And this is a nice configuration too because you can still sleep like that, but you also get like a little more floor space to do your stuff.
So these pegs are what stops the bed from flying off the track. Very sturdy. You do get to pick the color/fabric that goes on the bed. They have their free options. They also have their premium options. We just stuck with regular brown because having dogs, having like a pattern or something that's embroidered with their nails is just not practical. Probably wouldn't have lasted long. And we cover it with sheets and bedding anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
One thing I find funny is if you wanted this brown to be black, that's a premium option that you got to pay like $100 extra for.
It's something crazy.
So you would think black would be a standard color, but it's not.
It might be yellow. One of the things that is a little bit annoying is you can't store your cushions up here and then pop the camper down. The camper has to be flush with the bed pretty much. So we can fit maybe our blankets folded, and that's probably it. Like, we don't even keep our pillows up here when we're not inside, or, you know, when we go to move. So that's a little bit frustrating, but it's not that big of a deal. Well, moving on to the roof, up here we have one of the Dometic fans, which we paid extra for. I believe it's just a vent that doesn't have a power fan, if you don't pay for the upgrade. So here, this is the button that you would push to control which way the fan is pushing air. So right now we have it set to drag air into the camper. And if you pushed it this way, it would push the air out of the camper. And then up over here, you just have the little fuse. And then this is the speed for the fan. So there's 0, 1, 2, 3. And it boots right up.
The fans are super useful. They almost feel like AC.
Yeah, you get a nice cross breeze when you have both, you know, one pulling, one pushing air. Over here, we have our second fan. Same deal over here. The other fan over there didn't have the crank on it for whatever reason, but this is the crank. So you would turn this and it raises and lowers the cover that you saw on the roof. It's pretty crazy too. When you open this, it does let in quite a bit of light.
And if you're thinking about debris falling on it, onto the screen easily pops off,
Yeah,
like by doing that. Oh wait, real quick. This fan is definitely not a default thing. So even if you don't get the fan, there won't even be a hole in the roof with a vent at all. So the roof would be solid right there. So as far as not getting any options,
like anything you want to do that's like a basic necessity, I think is definitely the second fan.
yeah.
Even to have just one that is a fan and maybe just leave the other one as a vent, it's definitely helpful, like for cooking, for airflow, for just keeping the air moving while you're inside.
Yeah, because this is not something you could put in after the fact.
And also on the roof, we have our LED lights. So we didn't actually know we were getting these. They are standard option. It just comes with your four-wheel camper. They're pretty cool. They're very small and very flush mounted, basically. And they're touch. So when you press the little power button here, it turns the light on. Another really cool thing is that they're dimmable. So if you touch the power button and hold it, it'll dim the light until you tell it to stop. It's very, very, very helpful at night if you just want to, you know, turn the light on to see what you're doing. You don't want to disturb your partner. They get so bright. It's so nice. There's 3 of them. So there's another one over the bed. And then there's another one kind of like half over the bed, half over the like seating / like bench areas. Same thing. They all work the same. Tap and hold to brighten, tap and hold to dim, just tap to turn on and off. So cool. So nice to have.
Little strange, you would think there'd be one in each 4 corners, but there's not one in this 4th corner.
You don't really need it though.
Yeah, they're very bright. You don't need it.
Okay, and then another quick option on the ceiling that is just standard is you get the smoke detector / alarm. It's just for smoke though. It's not for carbon monoxide. So I know a lot of people like to add the carbon monoxide detector, especially if you're running propane. Another option that came that you don't ask for, it just, you know, just shows up when you get yours, is you get the fire extinguisher. It is attached to the wall, so there's like the little bracket here, and it's attached to a little mount that's on the wall there. Very, very nice to have. Okay, and then over here we have another window. This window is huge. This is the window that comes on all the campers. It has a curtain with Velcro down the middle, so you can either open them side to side, or you can just slide the whole thing either way. It also is an emergency exit, so if you had it unlocked and you wanted to push, I'm not going to push because I don't want to like break the seal. It will let you escape in case of a fire or other emergency. The screen here, when you have both open, it does create like a very nice cross breeze. If you push the window, it gives you access to the screen. close. The only thing that I kind of have like a qualm about is like this isn't super sturdy. Like if I like leaned on that too hard, it would definitely rip. It would definitely break off. Like I could probably pop this off with one finger. But once this is built out, we probably won't be coming in contact with it too much, and the same issue with the other side. This is another thing that we didn't ask for. We didn't order this specifically, but it was here, and we're very happy to have it. Is this cute little shelf. So this is kind of where we keep the bungees when we take them off. A couple other things. There's like a bottle opener in here. But this is really, really cool. These pieces come out, and you do get to kind of slightly customize the sizes of the, you know. Only thing that sucks is that when this is popped down, you can't get in here. It's a very, very tight squeeze. So if you have something like a roll of toilet paper and you're using your little toilet inside the camper, but things pop down, you're not gonna be able to get it.
You can put your little hand in there and try to pull like a surprise out, but you don't really know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, side note though, in our case and probably a lot of cases, you might take that off completely and relocate it.
Yeah.
Because you have up to the bottom of the thermal pack here to like build shelves and cabinets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So to leave this right here is kind of wasting space, but it's still a good thing to have. So you might consider just putting it somewhere else.
Yeah. So this is the window that looks into the cab. You can kind of see a reflection more than anything, but that's where the rear of the cab is on the truck. Maybe you could see a couple piggies in there. No, they're resting. You do get another curtain here with a little button latch. Another really quick thing with these is these curtains pop right off with the same like button latch. So if you wanted to make your own, or you wanted to wash these or whatever, remove them all together, they do just pop off, and then you can put them back whenever you feel like it. I thought that was really, really cool. On the other side is the optional window that we opted for the sake of, you know, crosswinds and light and everything else. Same thing, you get the curtain that slides either which way. This is also an emergency exit, and it also has the openable window, so you can get that cross breeze like we were talking about before. Same thing with this, kind of a flimsy little thing.
Yeah, so that window might not see much sunlight in most cases because you're probably going to have shelving, cabinet, sink over here kind of like blocking it. But from the outside of the truck, it looks nice.
Yeah. Up on this side is a little mirror. This is just here. We didn't put this here. Some people like to customize it and put something around it or completely take it off. It's nice to have. I won't lie, it's nice to have, especially like when you quickly jumping up in the morning and going out and you don't want to look like, total disaster area. These are the pieces that you pull and push on to pop the camper up. It also has the same little button latch as everything else. Down a little bit further, we have our outlet box. So this is where it's installed if you don't have the furnace, which we didn't opt for because we didn't feel like we would need it, especially since we're going to be hopefully spending a lot of time in warmer climates like California and most of the West Coast. Here you have 2 USBs. This is like your cigarette lighter, like 12, it's a 12 volt, right? 12 volt insert. And then you have 2 more USBs. This box is likely going to be relocated.
Yeah, that area with the countertop there and the little like electrical box is one of the things we were most curious about when we were buying this, because almost nobody buys one of these without the furnace. And when you get the furnace, it takes up this whole box.
Yeah, it's like pretty much as tall as like you can go. It's very, very like, it's kind of like a big obstruction. I understand how people would want it. I'm a little bit jealous considering like it is getting cold here, and I probably would like to have heat if we were to go.
Mr. Buddy.
Yeah, but we have a Mr. Buddy heater, and that thing works super fast, and we don't sleep with it on, which I know you can. Some people absolutely refuse to because of the risks, but the one we have has an auto off for if it falls over, etc., etc. But it would be nice to be able to if you were going on like a hike or something, have the thermostat set and come back and it was at the temperature you desired. But like I said, the Mr. Buddy works really, really quick.
Yeah, so we were really curious what this would look like without the furnace, because apparently no one orders it that way. And we couldn't find anything to show us what happened in this little area.
Yeah.
Turns out that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And then this is like a full kill switch. So if for whatever reason you wanted to kill all your power, you would just pull it. And I'm not going to pull it now, but you would just pull it and it would turn off all the power if you needed to do that. And then also underneath here, you have your little cabinet. And inside is the standard batteries that you get from the 4-wheel camper. There's a little bit of electrical going on in there. We're likely going to upgrade pretty quickly before we even hit the road.
This is all standard. You don't have to option this out or anything. It's going to come this way for any camper. And so the camper is also pre-wired, and it's wired to your truck's battery or your truck's alternator. Mm-hmm. So this thing will be getting charged whenever the truck is running. And
it also gets charged if you have solar.
Yeah, if you have solar. So we're going to do what most people do and do lithium batteries, connected to solar panels, inverters, and the whole thing. So this is probably all going to come out of here, and we're going to try to condense it, because this is actually a great cabinet for storage if we can find a way to not take up so much space with that.
Yeah. But if not, it's a safe home for our batteries.
But that's actually another major thing that we didn't even know would be here until we picked up the camper and opened this cabinet and saw it.
Right. And it's also lockable. I don't know if there's really a reason.
It's like a child thing.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So they don't get electrocuted.
That's
like
true.
Pikachu.
Under the seating, if you want to call it that for now, there's a little lip here, and you can lift this up, and you get some pretty, nice storage. I would say it's about, as deep as my hand, almost. So in here, we just kind of have, a few propane tanks, the little tiny Coleman ones, an extra, picnic blanket, garbage bags, lights, some hiking poles in there. And then you also get one on the other side, which one whole half is kind of dedicated to your fuse box, your wiring, all that stuff. But the other half is pretty much up for grabs for anything you want to put in here. We just have goggles and snorkels. And the wires are protected with the wire cover in there, so you don't have to worry. And then if you go a little bit lower, these pop down. There's 4 of them, 2 on each side. And this is where you access the turnbuckles, which is what keeps the camper secured to the truck. So one thing to watch out for with the turnbuckles, which we've come to learn, is that they get loose from regular driving. So if you can see, this is the turnbuckle, and you that's so loose.
Yeah, this side gets loose all the time, which is the passenger side, and the driver's side doesn't really get as loose as this.
Am I loosening it or tightening it?
Okay, loosening it.
So now it's getting a little bit tighter. But it shouldn't be moving that much.
That's weird.
So bad.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah. So periodically check on your stuff. Flatbeds get bolted directly to the flatbed, which is directly bolted to the truck. So more times than not, you're not worrying about this. I've heard stories where it does get a little bit messy.
The way that this turnbuckle system and the camper itself are bolted to my Tacoma is pretty sturdy. There's these bars going across the bed, and then they're bolted through the bed and basically through the cross member that's under the bed. And so it's a very robust mounting system that not every truck will have. I think an F-150 or some other trucks don't do it this way, and this way is stronger than some of the other ways. Mm-hmm. And then also kind of for a Tacoma, I don't know if other trucks have this, but you can get some outdoor storage by just shoving things in here. Right. There's a lot of space. Yeah, this is the bed of the truck. So nothing will ever fall out while you're driving, but it might get wet or dirty. And then Tacomas have a little cubby built into the bed. And a lot of people think you can't use that anymore because you put the camper on, but you actually can. And I do have stuff in there, so it's kind of cool. Up here, this cross support, we've seen people mount iPad and iPhone mounts to it. And then when they're laying in bed, they have their Netflix.
Yeah, their TV setup.
Their TV setup. All right, just a quick recap. What is in here that you will not get if you don't order it?
The fans, you get one fan, and it comes as a vent. It's not a power fan.
That one?
Right. So the one over the bed is just a vent. It's like not a fan. It's a screen opens with an openable little hat on it. This is the one that you would add on.
So you won't get this if you don't order it.
Right. And you have to pick for them both to be power fans. Another thing that you don't get unless you order it is the thermal pack. This, I think, was like a $750 add-on. To me, totally worth it. The little air pocket that it makes, like, you definitely feel it, especially when it's very hot out. Another thing you have to add on is the driver's side window. This was more for aesthetic reasons than functional reasons, but we're very happy that we got it. Oh, one other thing is there is an option to get a gray interior in here, which we didn't opt for. It didn't seem worth the money.
So everything else that she did not just mention, your camper will have it without.
If you get a shell.
Yeah, if you get a shell and you don't add anything on it, you'll get all of that. So we showed you what's in here that you wouldn't get if you don't order it. Outside, if you don't opt for it, you won't get the black. It would be, I think, white if you don't opt for black. Mm-hmm. You may not get the smooth aluminum. I think you would get like a textured one.
Yeah, we can show a picture maybe at the end.
And you won't get those roof rails at the top.
Not the racks, just the rails that the racks mount to.
Yeah, other than that, this camper is what you would get if you don't add any options besides what you just saw.
Yeah, you get the slide out bed, you get the little shelf. Yeah. Very cool.
We hope this helps because when we ordered ours, we did it
pretty much on an unknown whim, and we just kind of like bought it and had our fingers crossed and hoped for the best.
Yeah. We decided we want to live in a camper in like one day. We were like, this life sucks. Let's live on the road. So then we looked at our camper options. A few hours later, we were like, four-wheel camper is probably the best one for us.
Yeah.
Next day, I ordered one. And, if you order it with, like, no options, it probably will start around 13 to 14 grand. And anything you add is going to make it add up real quick.
I think it's like 10 or 12.
And then that's not counting all the fees for, like, delivery and...
Mm-hmm. Install. Like, you have to have it installed by your dealer. And you have to have the wiring done by your dealer.
What the Yo!
So, yeah, there's also other fees, like install fees, shipping fees, because they're built and made in California. And then wherever your dealer is, it has to be shipped all the way to there. So we had to have it built in California, shipped to New Hampshire, and then we had to drive to New Hampshire to our dealer to have it installed on the truck. What the
Next, we're gonna DIY the whole thing. We already have a toilet. We're gonna put a kitchen or like a sink.
We have a fridge too.
We have a fridge. It's not in here right now because we wanted to like show it without anything in here. But yeah, we have a really cool fridge we'll show. We're gonna have a sink. We're gonna have a toilet. We're gonna have a removable stove, which is another thing. If you get a stove from them, or even a fridge from them, they're not really removable. The stove is definitely not removable. I don't know if the fridge is.
Yeah, like if you get their flush-mounted sink and stove, you're kind of stuck with like the one spot that they put it. One of the perks of doing it yourself is you get to basically customize every single inch of your camper to fit your needs. So we're really looking forward to that. As scary as it is, maybe in another life we'll get the fully decked out one, and it'll just all be, done the way they do it.
Next video I'll probably do one of the truck, like this, but of the truck. And then I'll start like a little series where you can watch us fully build the inside of this and then hit the road and live in it with our 2 dogs. If COVID lets us. Bye.
Bye.
Oh yeah, another thing. Last thing. I'm sorry we don't know how to use a gimbal. I don't even think it's us not knowing. I think it's the gimbal not knowing how to be a gimbal. Because, I mean, as far as I know, you just hold the handle.
Go on. What were you going to say? You turned the camera back on for a reason.
I just said it.
Oh. Goodbye.